I got a hunger for money, I'm about to go get it. I'm a bounty hunter.
Hi, you guys. Welcome to the Bedroom Talk Show with your host, Crystal J. Just as a minor disclaimer, it's no longer Crystal J and Coco is just Crystal J. If you wasn't tuned into last week's episode, my best friend decided she wants to focus on her business, and I'm supporting her on that decision. So just for you guys start asking me questions about Coco, she's no longer a part of the show, but I'm super excited for her and her business, you guys. We're going to get right to it. This episode, we are discussing becoming a girl boss, and I have three phenomenal girl bosses. I have a startup girl boss. I have a girl boss who makes six figures a year, and I also have a girl boss who just recently rebranded her business. And then you have me, the fourth girl boss, who is currently rebranding. If you're my friend and you've been following me, you already know that I've been rebranding my brand for a couple months. And let's just say today I had some issues, but we'll get right into that. It's not about me. We're going to get to our first girl boss, which is Christy. Hi. And before you get to know her, I want you guys to see her commercial. The name of her brand is Crazy Coily Curls.
Finally experience true moisturized hair with Crazy Coily Curls Ultimate Leave-In Moisturizer. Made with organic and natural ingredients, you'll see and feel immediate results. Invest in your hair now at www.crazycoilycurls.com. Your hair will thank you.
First off, I want to say I love your commercial. I thought your commercial was very cute. Me being a natural girl, I feel like it's very hard for natural women, natural Black women, to find good products for our hair, because I feel like when a lot of businesses create hair products, it doesn't be targeted for us. It be targeted for everybody else. They just put natural on there, and they put a Black girl expecting us to buy it, which we do, not knowing the ingredients. And me researching your brand, I noticed that you have use organic and natural products, and I would love for you to tell your story. And
thank you so much. Well, first, I just want to say thank you so much for having me, Crystal, on your talk show. But yeah, that is actually the exact reason why I made my brand Crazy Coily Curls, is because there were so many products for natural women, but those products were not working. So I did my own formulations. One day, me and my sister came to something right out of my kitchen, right out of my bathroom.
Christy,
yes.
Restart. For some reason we couldn't hear you. It went out.
Oh, can you hear me okay now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I just wanted to let you know if you got deep into it.
No problem.
Alrighty.
But what I was saying was that's exactly why I made my brand Crazy Coily Curls. It's because me and my sister were so tired of having dry hair. We tried so many products that are on the market right now, and nothing was lasting for that moisture that we were longing for. There are tons of products on the market, and sometimes your hair will last with its moisture for an hour, 2 hours, but nothing stayed consecutively in those days. And that's how Crazy Coily Curls was born.
Alrighty. So my first question for you is, give me 1 second to pull up your questions for the audience can see them. What made you start your business?
So I actually started my business because of COVID. While I was struggling with having moisturized hair, I was an actress in New York, and COVID happened. So everything shut down, which left me with doing absolutely nothing. And it was the perfect time to actually start my business, start my formulations, start my trials and testing. And I got down to working on my business and launching Crazy Coily Curls.
I love that. I feel like COVID-19 started a lot of girl bosses and a lot of entrepreneurs. So I think it really made more people focus. Like me, it made me really more focused on my businesses. My next question is, do you have any challenges that you experience in your business?
Yes. So starting a business, you're always going to have challenges. Getting your brand out there is a huge challenge, right? You just started this brand new brand. No one really knows about it. You're so excited about it because you know your product works and it will help so many women and men. And you don't know how to bring that brand awareness into a saturated market, into Facebook, Instagram, media, emailing, everything. So that was one of our big challenges so far. I'm very thankful that there are Facebook ads, Instagram ads. I do have support of my friends and my family to talk about it, but even my biggest supporters, strangers who are trying my product and then they're falling in love with it and then telling their friends, their family members. So word is getting out, and now we're in our first store, and it's just been a huge, huge blessing and this amazing adventure so far.
I am so happy to hear that. I did see that you got in your first store. I saw your big announcement yesterday because I did study each brand, and I really had a lot of fun studying you guys' brands. And my next question for you is, what is Crazy Coily Curls going to do next?
So our next venture is definitely to hit more stores. Our big goal is definitely to hit Target and Whole Foods. But we also want to focus on additional products in our line. Right now, we just have one, which is an amazing product, but we would love to venture into additional products. So we're definitely going to our table and sitting down, writing our thoughts out and our ideas. But definitely look out for Crazy Coily Curls in Target and Whole Foods. That's going to be our next step for sure.
So my next question is, what made you start a business with your sister instead of a close girlfriend? Because a lot of women start business with their close friends and not their family. So what made you go that route?
So I'm really, really close with my sister. And while I have my own hair struggles, I know that she did too. So she was kind of like my little test test hair to try the different formulations. And we just sat down one day and we're like, you know what? We kind of want to have our own generational wealth that we can pass down to our children. And she has a son right now, my beautiful nephew, Marlon. And she owns her own travel business. So this would be her second business. And this would be my first business. But we just wanted something to stay in the family. We wanted to pass it down and it to be lucrative in our lives and in our family's lives. So that's exactly why I decided to be in business with my sister instead of being in business with my close girlfriends.
I love that. I think that creating wealth in your family is very important. I feel like for me, that's what I'm trying to do. And my last question is, how can my audience find you? How can they connect with you?
Yeah, you guys can connect with me right through social media. We are on Facebook and Instagram at Crazy Coily Curls, or you can even go on our website, www.crazycoilycurls.com. We also have email customer care at crazycoilycurls.com if you needed to email us. But yeah, Facebook and Instagram is how you can find us.
Well, I want to say thank you for being here, and I'll be right back with you in just a second.
Okay.
So you guys, we have a feature artist every week, and we're going to get right into the feature artist. This week's feature artist is the Chris. I like this song. It's called New Friend. We'll be right.
Confession, I'm infatuated with a girl that I don't quite know. Obsession, she appeared on my phone several times a few months ago. Inception, been on my mind since that time, and I might be sold, but she got me stone cold. Oh no, I am so froze. Has that style like Madonna, smile like Mariah, body like Nicki. Man, it's gonna be tricky. She got that sass like Cardi, hair like Halsey, voice like Beyonce. Wasn't looking, she found me. Tryna make a new fit, hesitant to hit that it. Can't let her break me down like I'm sure she's done so many men. Tryna make a new fit, hesitant to hit that it. Can't let her break me down like I'm sure she's done so many men. Not gon' give in, not gon' give in. Gotta represent, not gon' give I'm lost in the seams, every path leads straight to her perfection. Every post she makes, I'm hanging on to every word, reflection. She could be the one to change the game, if this really works. So I gotta approach her first, like a feeling this, she could be my nurse. She got that style like Madonna, smile like Mariah.
I hope you enjoyed that artist. His name was the Chris, and you can find him on Instagram. I am the Chris. So we're gonna get right into the next business owner, and you already know this business owner. This is me, Crystal Jordan. I own a moral lore. You guys inbox me all the time about how I started. Today I'm gonna be extremely honest, extremely real, because you already know me, so I'm going to get right into it. I started my business of moral lore when I was 23. I had no clear vision. I literally launched the crickets. When I say I launched the crickets, I didn't know who my target market was. I didn't do proper research. I thought that my business was going to just blow up overnight. And because I thought that way, I was like, I'm going to be the next Instagram famous person. And that didn't happen, of course. Hence why I'm rebranding my brand. So currently, I'm in the process of rebranding. When I say rebranding, I am rebranding my entire experience from when you get on my website, when you leave, from your package, everything. I want you to have an experience with me. I'm currently working on some dope stuff for you guys that I'm not going to reveal on here, but I'm super excited to relaunch my brand. But I'm going to get into my questions that I have for myself that you guys kind of asked me. So let me get to it. And if you don't know, my brand is www.amoreallure.com. So let's get right to my questions, you guys. Did I have a business plan? No, I did not. I thought it was too much work, but me having a business plan this year and me finishing it on Juneteenth, I know that's funny. I finished it on Juneteenth. That was my deadline. It has helped me figure out what I need to order. It helped me figure out the direction my brand need to go in for I can be as big or bigger than Fashion Nova. What was my challenges then and now? My challenges then was lack of promotion. That's my challenge now. My challenge now is inventory. I order inventory and I'm having issues because of COVID. That's why my relaunch have went back to September. I may have to put that again because I'm having inventory issues again. My other challenge was finding good quality models. And if you was my former model, I am not talking about you. What advice would I give someone starting out? Believe in yourself. I have to tell myself positive affirmations every day. You don't have to tell your friends everything. And one website I do use to create my website, I told you I was going to drop gems, is wits.com. I use Canva. I use PicMonkey. So I don't think what else I use, you guys. Yeah, I know I use StreamYard. I tell you guys that all the time. And these are the things I use for my brand. And I use Facebook ads and Instagram ads. Facebook ads are not that expensive. I would say just get to promote and be ready. My number one advice to you is don't expect people that you know to support you. People not gonna share. You have to be okay with that. People not going to like your stuff. Be okay with that. People your stuff, they're not gonna like it. It's okay. It took me almost 10 years to realize that everybody's not gonna support everything you do. And if you need validation for everything, being a business owner is not for you. When I tell you I did my surveys, you guys know about my surveys. It broke me. I had some surveys that told me some stuff that I literally got in my car and I had to cry. And I said, okay, I want to be a business owner. This is what I need. So, and also you have to realize as a business owner, sometimes the business owner, you will get attacked because it's your business. So that is my advice to you. Who is a moral lord? A moral lord, I just finished my brand statement, my mission statement. A moral lord is I want to celebrate women curves while embodying style. So that's who a moral lord is. It's a baddie, and it's not the bad baddie. A baddie to me is somebody who have confidence, they feel confident in anything they wear. So that's what a moral lord is now. What is rebranding? Rebrand is when you literally change your logo, and to me, you change your experience. But that's enough about me, you guys. We can get right to this owner. And hi.
Hey.
And before we get into her, you guys, I want you to get guys to know her, and we're gonna go right into her commercial.
Don't never stop if you wanna be on top, yeah.
Low waist, fat, baby, tap in. Tap, tap, tap in. Diamonds dancing on your neck, better tap in. Tap, tap, tap in. Getting money, get rich, baby, tap in. Tap, tap, tap in. MLB, icy gang, better tap in. Tap, tap, tap in. Wrist on glitter, waist on thinner. I'ma show you how to bag an 8-figure. Face on zaddy, pockets on jigger. You better.
Hi, you guys. This is our next girl boss, who is Tiffany. She's in the phase of rebranding her brand as well. The first girl boss, she was a new business, and this girl boss is rebranding her business. So, Tiffany, do you mind telling your story?
Uh-oh.
Did you hear me, Tiffany?
No, it was glitching a little bit on my end. I'm sorry.
I said, it's okay. Can you tell your story to the audience?
Okay, yeah. So I'm Tiffany Polar. I'm the founder of Audrey, Grace, and Izzy. And I started my jewelry boutique. It was really with one thing in mind. I thought it was going to be something like really small. And to be honest, it was because I have this infatuation with jewelry. And so I found myself curating and buying all these different pieces of jewelry for myself. And then I'm like, okay, you know what? You have to do something with this because your husband's about to think that you're like a crazy loon because you're buying all this jewelry up and it's really for you. And so what I said was, I'll go ahead and start an online boutique. That way I can still, support my craziness around my jewelry, but I can also have some beautiful pieces to offer to other women. So that was what I thought I was going to be doing. But as it went along, God really downloaded that it was a lot bigger than any of that. In fact, what it is a brand that encourages women to be who they are and to celebrate themselves, to stop forgetting about, their dreams, to stop putting themselves on the back burner. And it's really about a company that encourages women to live a beautiful life while also looking beautiful. So for me, beautiful living means where we are sharing our gifts and our purpose with the world, but not in a way in which we're being leached upon. It's a way that everybody's benefiting. So we're benefiting from sharing our gifts, and then those around us who are also benefiting. And I want you to look beautiful in the process, right? So it's beauty inside and outside, and it's really a much bigger purpose than what I ever thought it would be.
I think that's a beautiful story. I think that's a beautiful story. I did read your story, and I did have some questions for you. Get right to your questions first, and then I get into the personal questions I have for you. There you go. How does Audrey Hepburn, Grace Kelly, and Elizabeth inspire your business?
All right, so the thing about it is that when I was creating this brand, I realized that all women are not the same. We have our different personalities. And when I thought about it, I'm like, okay, there's really three different types of women that I think exist. There are the traditional dressers, and so I thought of Audrey Hepburn for that. And then for the second category, there are those women that like to be super feminine and that are always super graceful. And so for me, I thought about Grace Kelly. And then Elizabeth. A lot of people think that I mean Elizabeth Taylor, but really Elizabeth is just somebody that's fictitious. It is, Izzy is short for Elizabeth, and she's so sassy that she's like, don't call me Elizabeth, call me Izzy. So she's not really named after anybody. She's just that edgy rebel.
That was my next question, because I didn't know, was that named after anybody else, because I wasn't sure. What made you rebrand?
So the thing about it is, I won't say that I actually have rebranded. Um, my focus, aside from what I said beginning in the beginning, has always been the same, as well as my logo and just pretty much the overall feel. but I will say that I have refocused. So I started the company in 2016 and launched it officially online Black Friday 2016. And I was doing really well. And then my dad passed away in July of 2017. And so that took a lot of wind out of me. And I really had to take a break for about a good 8 months after that. So that's why I say I refocused, because after that event, I came back and I'm like, okay, you know what? Your dad passed away and stuff does happen, especially when you are an entrepreneur. All kinds of things come up, that life is still continuing while you're trying to build your brand. And so I said, okay, girl, you got to pick yourself up and you got to keep going. So that's what it's been, pretty much a refocusing on remembering why I started the business and what I want to do.
Okay. How did you research your target market? Like how did you go about picking these 3 personalities?
So that was one of the things, that
Tiffany, can you hear?
yeah, can y'all hear me? Uh-oh. Okay, so that target market piece, that is one of those things that can really get you caught up for a long time. Um, it was pretty clear early on for me that I wanted to have 3 different types of jewelry that I offered, because I did realize that every woman's not the same. I just looked around and I said, okay, I was observant. Some people dress like this, others dress like this, and others dress like this. So I tried to just break it down into 3 categories instead of getting too broad. Um, so, from that aspect, I developed my different characters. And then as far as the target market, as to who I was going to target, that is something that came along actually after I got going with business and after I started seeing who was actually gravitating towards my business. Before that, I was kind of hung up on things for a long time, trying to figure out, okay, who am I going to market to? Because at first it seems like jewelry is for everybody. Like everybody loves jewelry, and you can't really market that way.
All right. What are some mistakes that you made starting out? Can you hear me? Tiffany, can you hear me?
So some mistakes. Yeah, yeah, now I can. Some mistakes that I made starting out. I would say the biggest thing is not trusting what I already knew. Like I thought that I had to have all this coaching and all of these different programs that I took in order to get going and be a good business. But a lot of what you need for business, you already have it within you. And so when you get caught up in thinking you have to do this coaching program and that coaching program and this and that, hire this person and that person, sometimes you end up spending a lot more money than you need to. When you should just really get started and just go with the flow and see how things end up happening for you, and trust yourself, because a lot of the gifts that you have for your business are already there within you.
All right. And my last question is, can you tell my audience how they can connect with you?
Okay. And so I see Um, you can stay connected with me. I'm on Facebook a whole lot. So I have a Facebook page. It is Audrey, Grace, and Izzy. You can find me there. Go ahead and just like the page and turn on your notifications, because I do go live there once a week or so with what I call a sip and shop, where I show beautiful pieces of jewelry and we get together and have a good time and just chat, right? And then also on Instagram, I at Audrey underscore Izzy. And then there's also the website that's there, www.audreygraceizzy.com.
I really love the the virtual sip and shop with your audience. That I really feel like it's about creating a brand experience where people can understand who your brand is as you grow. I really do love that. And thank you. And I will be right back with you in just a moment. You guys, our next business owner. I'm excited to see what gems she drops, because me talking to her, you guys, I feel that her brand is already successful. I don't think, for me reading and talking to her, I don't think she predicted it to blow up this big. But I'm gonna show you her logo. I'm gonna get right. Okay. So her brand has been featured on Ellen DeGeneres, Essence.com, and it has been featured on the Today Show. All from going viral. Going viral can help your business. I just wanted to give you a little tea right there because I cannot wait for her to introduce herself to you guys and you guys just get to know her. Some of her she has a candle business called Scent and Fire. And if you don't mind, can you please tell us your story? And I come back with the. Yeah. So I literally started to Fire as a healing platform for myself. I suffer from anxiety, depression. I stress out a lot because Sit and Fire is not my only business. I actually have a branding agency that I've been running for 4 years. But once I decided to dive into aromatherapy, I ended up getting into candle making, and me being a brand strategist, I just decided to brand my own line of candles. And they've done pretty well, really well, actually, from the moment that I launched. But they really, truly took off this year when I created my Quarantine 2020 line of candles. They went viral. A friend of mine, she's a really good, one of my best friends, she had asked me for a quarantine and chill candle. But the type of person that I am, I'm not going to just make one candle for one person. I was like, well, I'll make an entire line of quarantine candles, and I paired them with the playlist, and they just took off. The moment that I posted them, they went viral. They sold out within a couple hours the first day. Then I restocked, and honestly, even though we're in summer months, every time I restock, they sell out within a few hours to one day. They've gotten me into several media outlets, including Fox, America Today, or America This Week. I'm sorry, America This Week. I was featured on Ellen DeGeneres' Instagram. She has 2 Instagrams. She has a brand of her own. She featured me on her personal Instagram and on her brand's Instagram page. And I was featured on the Today Show before my company turned 1. I just turned 1 at the end of April. Before I turned 1, I was featured in Essence, and that was right after I had redesigned my packaging. So it's just been a ride, and I'm still on a ride. I'm gonna ride the wave, and well into the future. Alrighty, I have some good questions for you. Okay, before I get into your questions, I had this for you. I just had it. I see that. Did you start this because of mental health issues? I see you had a lot of anxiety issues as well. Because I know in our Black community, we don't really talk about mental health. So I want to know, did you start it because of mental health or just to bring awareness to it? Yeah. So honestly, being completely transparent, I was embarrassed that I was told that, or I basically got diagnosed with having a severe anxiety. And, because that is a mental issue. And especially in the Black communities, we have a stigma when it comes to mental health. We don't like to talk about the fact that we see a therapist, people think we're crazy and all that other stuff. But honestly, that's part of the story. That's part of Sit and Fire. That's the reason why it was born, is because of my struggles with, mental issues. And I wanted to use Sit and Fire as a platform to bring light to mental wellness and the Black communities specifically. I will be launching something really soon that will be more towards increasing mental wellness in the Black communities. But yeah, I mean, it was, I couldn't hide from it anymore. I couldn't
I couldn't run from it. I had to really face it head on. And I'm so glad that God gave me Scent and Fire to really utilize and kind of bring my vision to life and kind of help me relay the struggles that I have and hopefully help other people as well.
I'm super excited to hear that because I feel like in the Black community, we don't really talk about mental health issues. And I'm going to tackle that subject in September. So you can come back in September and we can discuss that. I have a great platform for September. Here goes some of my questions. What are your daily struggles? You've been featured on Ellen DeGeneres. You already had a lot of brand success. So what are your daily struggles that you have right now?
I have a few. One of the main struggles that I have is not having enough hands. You know, I'm still relatively small. I do have a few people on my team, and I'm bringing my mom on to help me with like my emails because honestly, I take pride in answering every one of my emails that come through from customers. And lately, because I'm getting more and more orders every single week, it's so hard to like keep up with emails because some people email me just like to give me praises. Some people will have something missing. You know, some people wouldn't get their packages, and that's another thing that I struggle with shipping right now. It's really, really hard. So I struggle with like making sure that my customers receive their packages, and then also, you know, keeping my mental health, you know, up to par. Sometimes, you know, I could get overwhelmed because I'm the only person who makes the candles. I don't have anybody who, you know, who helped me make the candles specifically. Everybody on my team, they just do fulfillment and packing and shipping. So just making sure that I leave, you know, that time for self-care within my schedule. Like I need to do self-care every day. I talk to a therapist every week. She calls like clockwork because I can't go into the office due to COVID. And she has me on like the strict schedule of trying to do some form of self-care every day. And I feel like there's not enough hours in the day. And so sometimes I'll be at the warehouse working like 12 hours a day. I won't take a break to come home. You know, I'll come home really late and get in the shower and go straight to bed instead of, you know, like really taking the time to like take a pause and reflect on my day or do something that'll make me feel better or to help me clear any mental fog. So I'm still trying to keep up with that. But other than that, I mean, I'm doing okay, but those are my main struggles that I deal with every day.
Okay. I can understand that since you are being open about your mental health. I understand that because I'm actually looking for therapy too. I think therapy is good for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So I totally understand. My next question, you already answered this already. How would your business feature on Ellen, Essence, and the other big platforms? Did you want to touch that again? I know you just pretty much said the answer, but
yeah. So honestly, I think I got into Essence by just posting, like honestly just posting. And one of the beauty editors for Essence, she came across my candle line. I'm in a lot of Facebook groups, so she came across my candle line and she reached out to me and asked me for like pictures and like what my story was. And the next thing I know, I was on essence.com. And I think my company was I know for a fact Scent and Fire was 7 months at the time. I was 7 months in, just redesigned my packaging, and I was featured. And then like literally 2 weeks later, I was featured again. So I was featured twice in a matter of, 2 weeks apart at only 7 months old.
I don't think people realize how big that these Facebook groups can help you. Like,
they help tremendously.
People don't know that you can promote, and get help in Facebook groups. People be sleeping on Facebook groups. I'm gonna wait till I get everybody in that chat on that. My next question is, what made you create a quarantine playlist for your business? Was this a form of marketing your brand?
Everything that I do is a form of marketing my brand. But again, like my sister, she asked me to create a quarantine and chill candle. She's like, "Can I get a quarantine and chill candle?" And I'm like, "Girl, bye. I will do a whole line, and I'm gonna add a playlist. And the reason why I added a playlist is because everybody was sitting in the house. I like literally sat down. I'm the type of person who likes to, you know, figure out what people are doing. And because we were at the beginning of self-quarantining, I was like, what is everybody doing? You know, I know everybody in the living room, TikTok was starting to take off. You know, everybody was doing their little dances and, you know, just being in the house. I love good music. I'll, you know, blast my little speakers all through the house. I'll either clean up, I'll sit down and vibe with a good candle on and a good playlist. And I was like, let me just go ahead and add a playlist to it. I was going to add some other stuff to it. Like I created like a recipe sheet, and then I ended up doing these quarantine survival kits. My friend, she has a mobile bar service, so I collaborated with her, and we had these quarantinis and Corona Ritas. We had like the drinks that we were doing. It was local only, but that blew up really well. So I like literally just wanted to see what I could. Yes, I wanted to see what, you know, what people were doing and try to cater to that, try to make the experience of being at home a little more pleasant, because a lot of people were really upset that we had to stay in the house. But whatever I could do to help ease that, you know, that's what I did. And it went really well, and people are still doing it. Like I said, it's the summer. Some of the states open back up, some of them are closing back down. So I don't feel like
that down.
Yeah,
Atlanta need to close that down.
I'm in California, so all of us already closed back down. And so I'm going to continue. Yeah, we closed back down. We closed down last week, probably. Girl, I was on my way to the nail shop, and they was like, "No, we have to close today." I was like, "Yes."
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, we're closed. So I'm going to continue to try to figure out how I can enhance everybody's experience with being at home.
And I love candles. Like if I was able to show you my room, how many candles I have probably 20 candles.
Girl,
I have a candle. I love candles. Got on.
You gotta send me your address. I gotta send you some. I'm actually sending out to some people who inspire me right now. So just send me your t-shirt size and your address, and I'll send in fire shirt.
Oh, thank you. I would love to support. My next question, and I love candles up. Thank you so much.
No
My
problem.
next question is your company. Well, you're old. It was April. I heard you say that, but you have experienced great success already. What is best for your brand? Because you just inspired me. The playlist is the cutest thing. I don't know about the other girl bosses, but you inspired me to create a playlist for like different outfits or something. Like I don't know. I'm inspired.
Music
I'm inspired.
Songs, and when you're happy, you're listening to the happy songs. When you feel a little ratchet, you know, you listen to whatever. And so that's the reason why I feel like a playlist can be coupled with honestly anything. If you have outfits, put a playlist together that will literally match that outfit. But what's next for my company? I'm still going to continue to drop exclusive candles. I do a lot of pop-up drops. They'll, you know, like a pair of exclusive Jordans, I'll come out with a candle and it'll sell out, and that'll be it. I'm going to continue to launch new products. Like right now I'm doing hand dip incense. I'm still doing my shea butter bars. I'm gonna do my gourmet wax melts. Those are coming out in the fall. And then I am starting a nonprofit to help destigmatize the Black community when it comes to mental illness and try to promote mental wellness. It's going to be something that I'm going to launch before the end of this year. And I'm going to be partnering with NAMI. It's the National Alliance for Mental Illness. And I'm going to help them raise funds and then also raise funds for our nonprofit. And we just collab and try to get, you know, our people on board with, you know, with mental wellness. You know, a lot of people will say, oh, you know, I got money, I got this, I got that. But if you are not right mentally, you really don't have much. You're not going to get very far, because you can have all the money in the world, and if you're not right in the head, if you're not happy, you know, with yourself, it's not going to make a difference.
I love that. Please inbox me more about the nonprofit as well. I have one more question for you, and then I'm going to invite all the girl bosses back, and we're going to ask questions together. Can you tell my audience on how they can connect with you?
I'm very easy to find. Scent and Fire. It's scentandfire.com. And I am also on Facebook and Instagram at Scent and Fire. And yeah, I mean, you Google Scent and Fire, you'll be able to find me anywhere. I'm pretty easy to find.
Alrighty, you guys. So I'm adding the other girl bosses back. And before we end our live, I had questions for all the girl bosses. And this is a question for everybody. So, what made you become a girl boss? Anybody can go first. It don't matter.
I'll go first. I did everything by the book. I went to college, I graduated, I got my dream job, and then my dream job was swept from underneath my feet. I was laid off because they had a big acquisition. And I felt like, well, dang, like I did all that work, I don't ever want to have my livelihood in the hands of somebody else ever again. So I literally just went out on my own, but I also continued to stay on my own because I could have went back and got a job. I ended up staying on my own because one, I had a lot more creative freedom. I realized that I was a lot more creative by myself than I was underneath somebody else's belt. And then I also realized I have a talent to help other people grow their brands. So that's what inspired me to be a girl boss.
I love that. Anybody else want to answer that question? I can answer the question last for myself.
So
anybody else going next?
Yeah, I'll answer. So for me, what made me become a girl boss was I wanted something for myself. I think a lot of the ladies who are on this show right now, we want something of our own. And we were probably tired of working for someone else and telling you how many hours you have to work or when to come in. It was stressful. And I want something that I can now pass down to my family. So that's one of the big why I became a girl boss.
All right. For me, I'm going to answer it because I think Tiffany may be having issues. What made me become a girl boss? I always wanted to be my own boss since I was 10 years old. I always wanted to own my own business, my own brand. And with me wanting to own my own brand, I knew that I would be able to do what I want and make the amount of money that I want. And I want to create a wealth and generation wealth for my kids, my future kids, because I didn't have kids at that time. And I want to leave an empire to my family. Because I see other races do it. I'm like, why can't I not do it? And Miss Tiffany, you can answer it as well. Just be mindful. Miss Tiffany's having issues. I can tell. Is she talking or?
I can't hear her.
I'm not sure if she's talking either. I'm gonna go to the next question. I'm not being rude. I promise you. I'm so sorry. What websites can you recommend to aspiring girl bosses? I can answer that first. The first website I want to recommend is you can use Shopify or you can use Wix. That's what I use. Wix.com. GoDaddy. Canva is my favorite thing. I created this whole platform you see with Canva. PicMonkey. And I think that's, and then when you guys ask me about vendors, I literally share vendors on my page. Like I share free vendor lists on my page. Like go on my page, search for it, you'll see a whole bunch of vendors that I shared. So I'm not going to get into the vendor part. And then sometimes you have to look for Alibaba. That's where I get my product from. So, and what about you? Y'all can answer.
I would definitely YouTube. When I first started my business, YouTube was like a huge platform that I utilized with everything. So I would say YouTube, definitely. I use Shopify. I love Shopify. And well, depending on your products, but since mine is natural hair care, I look at wholesale supplies plus for certain ingredients. I also use Oil Life for my bottles. So it just depends. I mean, I use a little bit of everything, but for my products, that's what I use.
And then the ring light, you guys, Amazon.com. But anyway, saw this light from. So it's FYI.
For me, I would like to double back on both Shopify and YouTube. I taught myself how to do a lot of things off of YouTube. I use Shopify as my e-commerce integration right now. My website is a WordPress website. I built it myself, but I like the features that Shopify has. So instead of using WooCommerce, I ended up using Shopify. For somebody who likes the drag and drop features, I also would recommend Squarespace. I'm a certified Squarespace designer, so that's kind of like, I'm the plug with that. So I'm going to promote that anyways. For marketing, I would say Planoly. It's one of those schedulers where you can schedule your Instagram posts and stories in advance. Unsplash, you can get royalty-free stock photos for free, basically. And then you definitely need your stocks if you don't have like a photographer to take certain pictures for you. Amazon, get all your photography equipment from Amazon, your lights, you know, your what are those? The little flat lays. Yeah, the flat lays where you can lay your product on top of it. I have a few of them.
It's a light box. Light box.
No. The light box is like the box where you put your stuff in and it has like the white background. But I have flat lays where you can lay it flat and you can lay your product on top of it and it look like it's in the grass. It look like it's on brick. You know, look like it's on tile floor. Like they're big giant like mats and they're called flat lays. I use those when I take some of my pictures. Yeah, I have some in a room. I mean, I could go get them and show y'all, but they're like literally, they're really nice. And then what else? That's pretty much it. Like, I'm trying to think of something else. No, those are the main websites that I would recommend to anybody.
Okay. If I want to hear from Miss Tiffany, she has to because she's having issues, but I will keep showing her logo and her brand. Okay, you guys. She's back, so it's at her back. Oh, great, Miss Tiffany. What websites would you recommend to any aspiring girl?
So honestly, for me, I've learned so much from YouTube. Okay, YouTube is like a wealth of knowledge on there. Also, like you, I use Canva. That's like my go-to for making my graphics. But and Facebook is really integral for me too. But above all, YouTube has taught me so much.
YouTube taught me a lot too. YouTube is the real goal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What are your current struggles as being business owners? I can tell you, I'll go first. My current struggle is inventory, shipment because of COVID. Like prime example, today I ordered a whole bunch of inventory just for the vendors to call me today, say it didn't go through, and not the payment line, just they were so out of it, they didn't update their website, or they had an issue with shipping, and I'm like, okay. And I don't know about you guys, I ordered from China, so I'm having issues with shipping from China because of COVID. So that is my current struggles as of right now.
I'll say my biggest struggle is mindset. Like that mindset thing is so very important because depending upon how your business is going, one day everything's great, everything's gravy, and then the next day it's like, okay, does anybody like me? Like, what am I doing? Am I wasting my time? Like, I didn't know all of that before I went into business, how important mindset would be. But if you don't get a hold of that, that can be like a whole mess.
You preach to the choir right there. I can't.
And I would definitely say my mindset is my current struggle as well, especially trying to launch my business and then finally launching it, and then trying to figure out different ways to get more customers, to be more aware of your product. Yeah, I agree. If you don't have a positive mindset, your business is just not going to last at all.
It took me a lot to get there. Like, do you not know? Like, one of my struggles is every day I wake up and I'm going to be successful. My brand will be successful. I will not sell again. I have to tell myself this all the time. I have to give myself words of affirmation because I'm my biggest critic. I tear myself down before anybody else will. I would tell you that right away. I beat myself up, and I've been personally working on what you just said. Is that mindset?
And sometimes it's not just you, it's your family too. Like my mom tells me, she's like, I was talking to your grandfather and we just don't know about this jewelry business. I'm like, don't speak that on my business. My business is going to be great.
Yeah, no, I agree with everybody when it comes to mindset. Like it's tough, especially like with me, I experienced rapid growth and I was kind of prepared for it, but I kind of wasn't. I think I kind of winged everything, but it ended up turning out fine. But I'm still learning on a day-to-day basis. And then, like I told you before, the shipping, that's been like one of the main issues that I've been experiencing in my business. And then recently, the type of drug, because I get everything from the US. My company is a certified green business. So with the state of California. So I have to order specific materials or else I'll lose my certification. And all of my packaging is like sustainable, biodegradable, just to, not only do we have to have a healthy mental state, but we also want to live in a clean environment, right? So I try to do my part on keeping the environment clean. And I order sustainable jars. It's like thinner glass, but it holds more product, holds more weight, more wax. And I've been experiencing like my vendor had ran out of it and they're like, they won't get any back in like 10 weeks. And I was like, 10 weeks? That's a long time. Like, yeah, like I have to have stuff. I sell anywhere between 300 to 500 candles a week. Like, and y'all don't have any? Like, I have to get those candles out. So it's like, I've been having to go to different vendors and they've been one vendor. I barely got a large order and I ordered a surplus just in case. And it took like almost 2 weeks for them to get it. I'm used to getting stuff either the next day or in 2 days. I had to wait almost 2 weeks to get my stuff. So y'all can, I'm sure y'all can imagine how upset I have been, but now that I have them, I'm actually going back to the warehouse after I get off of here so I can go make some more candles.
Whew, 10 weeks? Oh my God. I already know your answer to this one. What is the most frustrating? This question I kind of missed up. What is the most frustrating part about being your own boss? So let me go and edit it so you guys can see it. What are like the most frustrating part?
Holding myself accountable. I'm not even gonna lie. Like I have employees and they beat me to work sometimes. So I think that's a struggle. It's frustrating because it's like, it's not just me by myself. I have to keep myself accountable because I have to pay them. I have to make sure I get stuff in line. I have to make sure I take care of my customers. So I want to say that that's just, it's hard, but I'm doing it, I guess.
I think you are. My most frustrating part about being my own boss is what she said is holding myself accountable, and then me getting the proper brand awareness. Like I can promote, and I feel like why I didn't get a sale this week? Why I'm having issues with my sales? That's the most frustrating part. Or when people say, "Oh, your stuff is too high," no, boo, you just can't afford it, and that is the most frustrating thing. And I can't be rude and say. In my email, no, baby, you just can't afford my services. That is the most frustrating part with me. Me being a fashion designer, you make custom stuff. People want stuff for $20, $10. I'm like, how? I'm gonna make that. So somebody make it make sense. for me, that's the most frustrating part about me being my own boss. And I try to hold myself accountable and watch what I say so I don't hurt other people and hurt my brand. Okay, that's what I say.
I think my most frustrating part.
You guys can go. Whoever.
Oh, can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
I think my most frustrating part is when you're starting off,
We can hear
where
you.
you can hire other people. Like you have to be everything in your business. So, you know, I'm the person that finds the jewelry inventory, but I'm also the graphic designer. I'm the marketing department. I'm like everything. So that could be frustrating.
And I think for me, gosh, there's a lot. But I think the most frustrating is myself. I feel like I'm too hard on myself. I feel like when you make something that's your own and you start your own business, you're very critical of how you think your business should be going. And there's times where I'm up till 3, 4 a.m. trying to figure out email marketing, brand awareness, new ingredients, new products. And yeah, and I have to learn that it's okay to take a break and it's okay that everything's not perfect, because I'm a perfectionist and I want things to be a certain way, but I have to learn that it's okay that it's not 100% the way that it is right now.
You know, therapies between me on his schedule. I literally, when if you want to be a boss, you have to realize you're gonna sleep. You're gonna have to sacrifice that, and I be sacrificing my sleep as I'm working on this rebrand. And this is my little baby right here. They're trying to keep it out the camera, but he just want to be under me, and I understand. Here go the next question for you guys. Oh, thank you. How has COVID-19 affected your business? I will go first. It affected my business because I was supposed to relaunch May 31st, 2020. But of course, COVID pushed all shipment back. And I had issues with, as I already said, I've had issues with inventory, fabric. It's been a nightmare for me on my end. So that's how it has affected my business negatively.
So COVID for me actually affected my business in a positive way. I also only get my products from the US, so it hasn't affected me the way that it has for you, Crystal, with overseas. But I will definitely say a lot more people are staying at home and they want to take better care of themselves. So I have been receiving a lot more orders from women and men who want to take better care of their hair. So it's definitely made a positive impact on my business at this point.
Okay.
With me, same thing. It has made a very positive impact on my business, especially since I created the quarantine 2020 line. That kind of catapulted my business into a whole nother atmosphere. Like I said, the only thing is the availability of supplies. But other than that, like, it hasn't had like a negative impact. For my other business though, my branding agency, at the very beginning of February, I started losing my clients, and by March, I lost all my clients. Like, I didn't have anybody left, and that's kind of what made me go to the drawing board with Scent and Fire, because I had took a break from Scent and Fire to focus on branding. So again, it worked out for the better.
Are you still doing your branding?
Yes, I am. But
are you still doing your branding?
Yeah, I'm still doing branding. I am working with clients who, well, I'm more picky about who I'm working with, if that makes sense. And I'm doing more strategy work than design work. Before, I used to just do all design and then that be it. But people saw what I did with my own brand and they're like, oh, I need you to help me. But some people don't understand that it's not the design, it's literally the strategy work, the groundwork behind it that made it push. I pretty much give your brand wheels. And so I still do that. I don't have that many clients because a lot of people don't understand the strategy part, but I am still doing the branding.
Okay. And I'm sorry, I just wanted to answer that question because I heard her talk about it. I wanted to inquire about it. There you go, Miss Tiffany.
Oh, okay. So for me, the impact was more of myself. because when COVID first started, I had taken myself out of the game because I said people are worrying about so many other things that they're probably not going to want to buy things like jewelry. And that was completely not true because even though we're in the middle of a pandemic and people aren't really going out as much or whatever, they still want to have a sense of normalcy. So again, it was me getting out of my own head, coming up with these excuses about what people will do and don't want to do and whatnot when people are still buying, people still want stuff. And so who am I to not offer my service?
Okay. My next question for everybody is, what advice would you give to aspiring girl boss? My number one advice, like I already stated, is don't expect everybody that you know personally to support you. Strangers will support you quicker than people that you know. Let me say that one more time so you can get it through your head, because it took me a long time to understand this. Strangers will support you quicker than your family and friends. If you have families and friends who support you right and stuff, you're winning already. But that's not really that's a dream. Just being honest. People want to see you do good, but I'm better than you. My mom is like, get it out. So that's my advice. And just start. That's it.
Yeah, just start. Just keep going. I would like I always tell people, when you're starting a business, I always ask them, like, are you starting a hustle or are you actually building a brand? Because some people don't know how to differentiate the two. Just doing a hustle, anybody could go stand on a corner or get online and make some money. That's easy. That's the easy part. But if you're actually building a brand, building something sustainable, I would recommend that you start with your brand statement, your brand story, and then move on from there, because your brand story and your statement is going to help you mold your business, not only with your marketing strategy, but with your products as well. Because, like, for instance, with me, my brand, when people look at the name of my candles, that's part of my brand. How my candles are designed, that's part of my brand. So you always want to make sure that you have your brand statement to help you with your foundation so that you can build off of that.
And I would say for me, the advice I would give would be to just start, but also understand that there's going to be times where you want to quit. Don't quit. Just keep pushing forward. There's going to be times where you're crying, upset, feel like you can't do it. You can do it. Don't listen to those thoughts in your head and just keep pushing forward, and you'll be fine. But you've got to keep going. That's what I would say.
And for me, I'm just like, do not despise the small beginnings. Like, you're not going to always immediately see the results that you're looking for, but you still have to keep pushing through and going forward with things. Because the funny thing about it is, even when you don't think anybody's watching, there's always some people that are watching and lurking out there waiting to see what you're going to do and to support you if you keep going, if you don't take yourself out of the game. So that is like major. You have to just keep going. And it takes tenacity too. Like, y'all see me struggling here with this Wi-Fi, but you got to find a way to get it done still. Keep going.
And I want to say you're doing a good job, even though you're struggling. Like, your spirit is what drove me to you. Even with you have an issue with your commercial, I said I will help you. Like, that's another thing that we need in our community. Girl bosses helping each other win. You win, I win. We all are winning together. But yeah,
Amen.
Okay, so what are your top 5 must-have to start a business? I will go first. My top 5 must-have is, now that I'm in this, a business plan. Besides business plan, a website, a logo. Your logo don't have to be. Your logo can be really simple. You look at big brands, their logos are simple. Influencer. That's my 4th one. And my last one is yourself. You need yourself to bring, like, you're trying to create your own table. So you have to be ready to just put yourself out there. Don't be shy. When you network and you timid, that's not going to work. You have to network and open your mouth to get what you want. So you're going to need yourself. That's why those are my 5 top things. And you guys can go. I'm done.
Oh, I had to think on that one. Like I just typed in some notes on my phone right quick because I'm like, oh boy, let me think. And will I remember these 5? So for me, I said your why. Like you really need to know why it is that you are in business. Like it has to be something there to motivate you to keep going. Because if you just want to make the money, that's not going to sustain you when you're starting off and the money isn't there yet. And then the second thing, I think you need to know what type of experience you want to create. You need to think about what your customers, how you want them to feel every time they come into interaction with your product. And then the third thing is you have to have the ability to pivot because everything's not going to go smoothly as the other girl bosses have demonstrated. You have to find a way to do it regardless. Like it's one little thing's not going to stop the show. The fourth thing I say is that you need to have a love for the people that you are going to serve because business, even though you're the boss, you're still in there to provide a service to people. So don't forget that. And then the last thing, you need to have quality. So if you have a product, your products need to be quality. And if you're offering a service, your service needs to be good quality.
And I'm just about to tell you to go.
So I put Facebook, Instagram, because social media is key right now. We're in 2020. I also put belief in self, because if you don't believe in yourself, no one else will. And I would say a quality product or service. And I feel like my last thing would be, I would say some type of funding, because it's very hard when you start your business and you have no money to support your business. So I would definitely say funding or some type of money coming in to support you so then you can support your business. And there's tons of grants, especially with the SBA, that depending on your state. So if you need that type of funding, I would definitely say go to the SBA to help you with your small business.
Also, if you are you can check out the episode from 2 weeks ago. I talked about get them. You can go on my page and I share at least 15 grants to apply for, but them grants are up because the deadline was on the 15th. But .gov is still accepting grants and applications because I just did mine and I got approved. So.
Yeah, Visa is still doing one too. SBA is actually doing the emergency one still.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
they're still doing that one. But Visa's doing a grant for minority businesses right now too. So that's until the 30th. Well, I guess I'll go.
Yeah, I did see that one. I personally don't qualify.
Oh. I guess I'll go with my top 5 paths to start a business. Obviously your business license. Have a clear idea of what you're going to provide, what service or product you're going to provide to your customers. Know who your customers are. I think that a lot of people jump in a game and they don't really know who their target audience is, and they kind of waste money and have to revise their product line, service line, etc. to save money. Just kind of know who you're talking to, who you're going after first. What else? Have a decent website. Digital is the way to go. You have to be in a digital space, regardless of whether you're a local business or not. Being in a digital space is very important. And like all of us shared the gems, Wix, Shopify, Squarespace, any one of those, they have really low cost plans. I think Shopify is like $10 a month if you go and have another website and have it embedded on there. And then I want to say have a decent brand representation. So when you're online building your business, whether it's a side hustle or you're building a brand, you always want to remain professional and respectful. Separate the two. Don't have all your business stuff on your personal page. Only create a business page for it and just promote from there.
I agree 100% with everything you just said. I could not find a gif for that because I was like, yes, I agree with that. I hate going to somebody's Instagram page and it's clutter.
Yeah, you don't want to
I'm
do that.
like, it drives me insane. Like I have a total of 10 Instagrams, and everybody said that's too many. I'm like, I know,
No,
but it's all,
friends,
it's
you need
all, it's all. Yes, everything has its own reason. My personal page is still my brand. Your personal branding is you too, but
Mhm.
I just don't put everything on there. I'm very detailed when I do post on there. It's a reason why I post on my personal. If I post it, it's a reason behind it. I'm not just posting this post. Like,
Right.
alrighty, I'm trying to hurry up. You guys gotta know some of us gotta go. I had two more questions. I'm gonna see. I feel like you already answered. Everybody answered that one, but you know what? I think this would be a great way to end it. And I got one more, and that's it. What is the best advice you have ever received? The best advice I ever received was to do the damn business plan. The guy I talked to told me to do the damn business plan, and when he told me that, it made me think about it, and it forced me to do it. I did a survey before I did my business plan to understand my target market. That was the best advice I ever received, was do the damn business plan.
For me, I think it is to pay attention to your capital, pay attention to the money that you're spending, because you don't want to just keep spending, 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 and then run out of it. So you got to be careful and decide whether or not what you want to spend it on is really a necessity, or if it's going to move your business forward, or if it's just something that you can wait and do a little bit later.
For me, I would say the best advice I was given was to not give up. And it's okay that it's not perfect, but you'll never know where you'll be in the next few days, in the next month, if you do give up. So keep pushing forward.
Yeah, same with me. The main thing was that nothing is gonna be perfect. Just keep on going. You're gonna continuously refine everything. But just to, get out there and just keep on pushing and have faith.
Mhm.
Alrighty. And the way we want to end this live, can you guys tell us where can my audience stay connected with everybody? I can't
Again,
stay connected with you guys.
I'm at scentandfire.com, and I'm on Facebook and Instagram at Scent and Fire.
And I'm on Facebook as well and Instagram at Crazy Coily Curls. And you can find me at crazycoilycurls.com.
All right. And so for me, of course, you can go to my website there, audreygraceizzy.com. Also, I spend a lot of time on Facebook on my business page. It's at Audrey Grace and Izzy. And then Instagram is Audrey_Grace_Izzy.
All right, and you guys can find me on Instagram at Amora_Allure, and you can also find me at www.amorallure.com. YouTube, any platform you type in Google me, I'll be the first thing to come up when it comes to Amora Allure. Just for you guys to know who the brands are. Again, I want to feature them one more time. We had Crazy Coily Curls, Audrey Grace Izzy, and Scent and Fire. For you can see that logo, I'm going to remove us from the screen so you can see this beautiful right now. And that's pretty much it. I'm super excited how this episode went today, with it being my first one by myself. And just thank you everybody for watching. Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye.